Okay, day 18. We're going to set up our store page today and try to get things in a spot where we can get our application ready for review. At this point, we probably won't get it reviewed in time for Christmas, so it won't be publicly available in time for Christmas, but we'll have started that process at least by this point, or by Christmas, not by this point. So let's get started. Okay, so we're back in the Google Play Developer Console. Privacy policy is like the one thing I'm gonna do on my own, simply because it's a legal requirement, and I don't want to give you bad legal advice. So we can go ahead and hit App Access. All of my functionality is available without restrictions. Restricted access includes, but aren't limited to, these things. In our case, yeah, we don't restrict any of the access, so we can go ahead and hit Save. Also, if you're not back in Google Play Console, go ahead and log back in because we're going to need to fill this stuff out. Okay, I don't know why it took us to that. Okay, no, my app does not contain ads. Let's go back to dashboard. Content rating. Start the questionnaire. Go ahead and enter your email address. This will be used to contact you about content ratings, and it may be shared with rating authorities and the IARC. This isn't a game, social networking, communication app, so we'll select that one. Any ratings relevant context? No. If your quotes are anything that might be ratings relevant, you probably need to hit yes here. In my case, they're not. They're pretty safe quotes. Does the app allow users to interact or exchange content? No. Online content? No. Promotion or sale of age-restricted product or activities? No. Share location? No. Purchase goods? No. Web browser? No. News or educational product? No. We can hit save right here, and then we can hit next. That'll give us our summary. So ours is L for all ages, E for everyone, PEGI 3. You can see all the ratings here. In our case, we want to save this. Okay, go back to our dashboard. If you change any of that, you can start a new questionnaire from the same screen. Target audience. You must add a privacy policy if your target audience includes children 13 and under. Really, I'm going to say these are our target audience. Appeal to children? No, not really. Could your store listing unintentionally appeal to children? I don't think so. Save, not now. Go back to the dashboard. News apps. No, it's not a news app. Easy. Oops, sorry about that. COVID-19 contact tracing and status apps. It is not a app designed for that, so we'll mark it as such. Go back to the dashboard again. Data safety. Okay. Any of the types of data that are captured on your device. This is the fun one. Does your app collect or share any of the required user types? Yes. Is it encrypted in transit? Yes. Firebase is encrypted in transit. My app does not allow users to create an account. Do you provide a way to request that their data is deleted? No. You can get additional badges, independent security view, payment secured through UPI. In our case, it's not something we're worried about. So data types, location, no. Personal info, no. We don't take any personal info. We are specifically interested in app info and performance, crash logs. If you were to add other things, like analytics, you would definitely want to mention those here. In our case, it's just crash logs. So we hit next. Now we have a questionnaire here. It's collected, shared with a third party, means accessing or using data while it's only stored in memory. No, this is collected for a longer time. Data collection is required. This is used for, let's see, what is it used for? Analytics, monitor app health, diagnose bugs. Okay, so yeah, it would be used for analytics. Why is this data shared? Analytics. Next. Okay, so we will have to submit a privacy policy. So we want to stay, so we'll save this as a draft for now, and we can't finish this until we have a privacy policy. Government apps, no. Go back to the dashboard. Financial features, none of the above. My app does not provide any financial features. Excellent. Dashboard. So I do think that if we were in a scenario where we didn't have Crashlytics, we wouldn't have to have a privacy policy at all. So something to think about if you don't want to worry about that. I think you would be good to not have a privacy policy since you're not collecting any data. The caveat there is you should read this, you should talk to any legal aid that you may have just to make sure. Select an app category and provide content details. So we want to select a category. So we're going to hit edit. It is a category. It is maybe lifestyle. Seems fitting. We'll save this. Not now. Manage tags. So it is like a journal maybe. Oh, sorry, that's a filter. We want to search tags. So we want maybe journal. Nothing for journal. We can look through these and see if there's anything that we might be interested in. Flashlight, that's funny. Flashlight apps, I guess they're still a thing. Health and fitness, karaoke, that's cool. Yeah, let's go with notebook. This seems kind of fitting. I don't think we have any other ones that we would want to add, so we'll just go with notebook. Store listing, contact info, you need an email address. Anything else is optional. Okay, advertise my app outside of Google Play. Yeah, that's fine. If they really want to, I won't complain. Okay, set up your store listing, set up your price. So we'll go to set up store listing. This is the one that we need Figma for. So we have a feature graphic. It's 1024 by 500. I have our Figma pulled up. I'm going to create an artboard or frame. I'm going to set the width to 1024 by 800. Is that what it was? 500. Okay, that makes way more sense. Change this to 500. And okay. So now we get to figure out how we're going to design our frame here. Does Figma let us copy this? Can I copy this fill and paste this fill here? I can. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, so we'll take that fill right there. We'll take these P's and we'll move them over to frame 2, slide them over here. And we are going to change the text to be journal. I don't know, what do we want this to say? So this is going to be like the kind of heading for the store page. Journal on, no, reflect on famous quotes. We'll go with that. We'll bring the font size down so it all fits. So maybe we're looking at something like, yeah, 128's not bad. I'll go ahead and remove this second P, and we'll take the same thing we did here. So I'm copying this, pasting it. I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 2, and then we will change the text to be this soft blue, and we will swap the black on top of the blue so we get something like that. That seems pretty good. It actually is maybe a little too far, so let's move it to the left one and then up one so we get something like that. Reflect on famous quotes. I kind of feel like we should do like an image or something. I'm not really sure how I would do like a philosopher's stone, so maybe we just go with reflect on famous quotes. With philosopher's stone. Yeah, we could try something like that. I can't decide. So this is our feature graphic. I wish I could see kind of how this fit in. I know we stumbled upon the store listing for a couple other things and we saw maybe how they fit, but perhaps one of the best things we could do for now is just take something like this, export it. Export. Oh, sorry, that's over here. Export 1x because we already have the dimensions set up properly. It's frame2.png. So we can come back here and add frame2.png. This may not be the most pretty thing, and we can change it in the future for sure, but this will get us kind of going. So now we need phone screenshots. This is probably one of the most frustrating parts. I'm curious. Yeah, app screens, place it with the mockup generator. So we'll need to go and take screenshots, which is fine. You can also do stuff like this. These are pretty common. Some people seem to like them. They seem to do pretty well, actually. So maybe that's something we should do. I really want free ones because I don't want to pay for this. I don't know if free is an option. But yeah, you can use these as well if you'd like. So interesting. So for now, what we'll do is we will fire up our emulators. So we'll come back here, we will open iOS Simulator. It's going to take a second to connect. And while this is working, one thing we probably want to do soon too is kick off another build. We've made some changes to our app since the last time we pushed something to test flight, and it would probably be good to go ahead and get that on test flight before Christmas as well. Okay, so we've launched our iOS simulator. We're going to hit main.dart, hit play. And now one thing to be aware of is these are iOS screenshots, and we're filling out the Android Play Store. You have a couple options here. You can start an Android emulator, which is what you should do and totally the right solution. Or you can take the iOS screenshots and make them fit the format for Android. That's generally what I do. It's probably not the best solution. Things might get a little weird or skewed. I guess it's probably a slightly less than optimal experience for Android users, but it's sort of a pain managing all the screenshots for every different device dimension that you need, especially on iOS. Actually, it's really painful. So I did, with my game that I pushed out a couple months back, I did screenshots on every specific device that was necessary, and it was a pain. The silver lining is that it actually highlighted a couple edge cases with tablets that looked a little funky. So I was able to identify those while testing on those devices and then fix those too, which was good. Always a good practice. Okay, this should start sometime soon. While we're here and this is launching, oh, my CPU is maxed out. Maybe we'll just wait. I was going to update our version in our pub spec, but yeah, if my CPU is maxed out, we probably should just let this do its thing. Okay, the Xcode build finished, so it should be starting soon, which will be good. Okay, so we've launched our application. I'm on a Mac, so what I can do from here is I can hit Command S to save a screenshot. This will go to my desktop, so there's one right there. I'm going to take another screenshot. What are your thoughts on this quote? This quote makes me feel like I am, I don't know, trying to think of something that would look good in a screenshot. You know what? Maybe what we should do is actually look at the quote and decide. For many men, the acquisition of wealth does not end their troubles, it only changes them. This quote resonates with me because as I've grown older and figured out my finances, it seems that more and more issues seem to stem from money. Okay, I'm going to save this. I'm also going to submit this. I'm going to open this, waiting for that snack bar to go away. I'll save this. If you really wanted to, you could take a picture of your settings screen. That seems kind of strange. I'm not going to take a picture of the settings screen. So we have a couple screenshots. I think that should be good. So now if we go back to, must be PNG or JPEG, up to 8 meg each, 16 by 9. So I'm just gonna try the iOS screenshots and see how they turn out. So we'll try this one, and this one. If we're lucky, it'll let us use them. If not, we'll see some error indication right here. Hey, it looks pretty good. One thing that is a little odd, we have our debug banner up there. We probably don't want our debug banner, right? So one thing we can do in our material app, we can go here and type debug. No? Is it not debug? Generate title. Debug show checked mode banner. Let's try this. Debug show turns on a little debug banner in debug mode. Okay. So we can set this to false. And this way we can, our banner's gone now, which is great. So we can take this picture, this picture, this picture. Let's take another quote entry. Doing nothing is better than being busy. Doing nothing is better than being busy doing nothing. What are your thoughts on this quote? I agree. Wasting time is a terrible form of procrastination. Something like that. Take a screenshot. We can submit that too. Add some data just for testing later. I'm going to delete these by clicking the little icon up there, and I'm going to upload the ones that don't have the debug banner. To be eligible for promotion, include at least 4 screenshots at a minimum of 100 or 1080 pixels on each side. Promotion would be cool, but I don't know if we're necessarily worried about it at the moment. So we'll eventually need tablet screenshots. Those get to be more fun. But for now, we can hit go to overview. If your app or store listing contains third-party intellectual property, brand names, logos, you must provide Google with written documentation. I think we're good there. I think quotes are free, like public domain. None. How do I... Oh, okay. So advance notice is not something we need to worry about. We can't send our app for review yet. Complete the required steps on the dashboard. Okay. So if we come back to the dashboard, I think the thing we're missing is, okay, so set the price of your app. It's paid, pricing template. Oh, templates. Let's just set price, make it simple. Default price, 0.99 USD. Make it 99 cents. Tax and compliance. Okay, you might have to fill this out. Mine's already filled out for my business, so you might have to do that, but I don't in this case. App hasn't been published yet. You can manage your sales. Okay, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So the big one is the privacy policy. I am not able to help you with this one. So you must set a privacy policy for your target audience. So interesting. My target audience isn't children 13 and under. But I can't submit my data safety until I have a privacy policy. So that might be like a little issue on their end. Okay, all this is still saved, which is great. Yep, app info and performance completed. Yep. Yeah, so we have to submit a privacy policy, I guess. So yeah, I can't help you with that. But what we will do is I will write mine up or get mine written for me. Not sure which yet. I guess tonight, and then we can kind of pick up there tomorrow and make sure we knock that out. One of the most important things that I wanted to take away from this is that if we go to internal testing and we go to testers, we hit copy link and we open this, install the public version on Google Play. Okay, it still does not have our store listings. So let's see if we can save those. So if we come back here and go to store, main store listing maybe, reflect on famous quotes. I think what we need to do is we need to send this to Google to review. Ready for review. Releases overview. Not what I'm looking for. Releases overview. Production is inactive. Active not reviewed. Okay. I think we might have to finish these steps before we can get our page listed properly, unfortunately. So we'll come back to that, and what we'll do now is walk through the same thing for Apple. So go to appstoreconnect.apple.com, sign into your Apple developer account. If one password will let me sign in. Okay, we can go to My Apps. My lovely little apps. We want Philosopher's Stone. I'm going to shamelessly self-plug. This is the game that I mentioned. I think it's fun. Hopefully you do too. And then this is the first Flutter app that I built, which is a pet health journaling app. So my dog has epilepsy. She has seizures, and my wife and I needed a way to manage tracking her seizures and medications, so we built something. Okay, so now that we're here, we can hit Choose File, and we want to grab the same screenshots as before. Dimensions are wrong, okay? So those aren't the 6.7 inch screen. So we need to swap to a simulator that is a 6.7 inch screen. So what is a 6.7 inch screen? Let's find out. iPhone 6.7 inch screen. I believe this is going to be the 15 Pro Max. The current Max Pro, okay, 6.7 inch display. 15 Pro Max. So what we can do here, we're running on a Pro. We can go to Open Simulator 15 Pro Max. This will give us a new simulator. I'm going to close down the old one before my computer fries itself. And I'll let this boot. If I sound like a robot, my CPU is overloaded again. Okay, now that that's booted, we'll come back here. We'll select the 15 Pro Max, and then we'll run our application. And this could take a minute, so I'm going to take a sip of my beverage. Okay, CPU is coming down, which is good. So one thing we can do is, while this is building, we can go to our pub spec. Nope, CPU is maxed out again. That did not take long. And this version right here, we can increment this to 1.0.1 plus 2. And we'll use this in a minute, this version number. But for now, let's just go ahead and make that change. Trying to make good use of your time so we're not just sitting here watching my simulator try to boot. Encoding overloaded, yep. Okay, need this to launch today. Okay, the Xcode build's done. That one took longer than usual, but that's okay. So it should launch our app here in just a second. Oh, hey, look, there was that game, by the way. Okay. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Excuse me. So we'll grab this picture. We will add a journal entry. I agree with Seneca. Mo money, mo problems. I will save this, submit this, review previous journal entries, save this. I don't want this screenshot, sorry. That had the snack bar in the screenshot. I'm gonna just take another one that does not have the snack bar in the screenshot. Okay, now we've got the appropriate image sizes for the 6.7 inch display. So we can choose File, and we want to make sure we're selecting the iPhone 15 Pro Max screenshots. Yep, this is really nice. So they'll use the 6.7 inch display for all sizes, and they'll be localized in the media manager. If it doesn't look the way that it should, you should add custom screenshots. So these use the 6.7 inch display. These do not. So we'll have to sort that out, I guess. I don't actually know what a 5.5 inch display is, so we'll have to figure that out. Okay, so we've now added our screenshots. We need to add some iPad screenshots. So we will do the same thing. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take up your time doing this. Do the same thing. So come here, grab a 6th generation iPad Pro. So a 6th generation, a 12.9 inch. And then you also need a 2nd generation iPad Pro with a 12.9-inch display. Actually, do you? Yeah, okay, you do. It won't use the sizing from this one. So you will need each of those. You can add promotional text if you want. We're not going to. We will add a description. I actually just want to copy the description we have for our Android app. So if we go to main store listing, okay, that's not as much as I thought. So let's type one up. A reflective journal on famous quotes. You know what? I have another idea. This sounds fun. Let's ask ChatGPT to come up with one for us. So I'm going to say, okay, we have a new chat. I have built a Flutter app that gives you a daily quote and asks you to reflect on it. Please write an app store description for this application. Let's see what it does. Okay, it gave it a name, Reflectify. I'm not happy with that, but that's fine. Unlock a daily dose. Okay, I don't really care about the Flutter piece, so maybe I shouldn't have told it that. Please try again. No need to mention Flutter, and the name of the app is not Reflectify, it's Philosopher's Stone. I like that. Maybe we'll use that as our title. So if we come back, I say come back, but where do we set our title? I'm not sure. I'll have to sort that out. But on Google Play, we have our app name. That's too long, isn't it? Yep. Daily Wisdom Reflections. I like that, so we'll go with that. Okay, what does it have? Self-discovery, elevate your day and nurture your mind with, I'm just going to change every morning to every day because it's not necessarily every morning. So we'll take this, change this to every day. That's pretty good. Thanks, ChatGPT. We'll save these in the Play Store so we don't lose them. Go to your publishing overview. Okay, yeah, we can't send changes to review. Okay, let's come back to the App Store, connect here, paste our description. I'm pretty happy with that. Sorry, we don't want Flutter. These aren't YouTube keywords. These are our app keywords. Journal, meditations, reflections, wisdom, daily journal, stoicism, philosophy. Maybe those. Describe your app. Yeah, I would say that's probably pretty good. Support URL. We don't have one. Version. Yeah, that's good. Routing app coverage file. You might need this depending on what you do. Specify the geographic region supported by your app. Yeah. Marketing URL. Oh, we do have to have a support URL. So we'll do pyrestudios.com/ pyrestudios.com/ help. Is it help? Is it support? Page not found, so it's not that one. Contact? My goodness, I don't remember what the page is. And I don't have a... Yeah, you know what? We'll just go with this for now. I'll get that fixed and we can use that later. Okay, so app clip. We don't use app clips in our app. These are neat. You should look at building these sometime. They're really cool. iMessage app. Yeah, we don't use an iMessage app. You could if you wanted. We don't. Apple Watch, same thing. So we're good there. So we can hit add build. We can select this build if we want. We're not going to yet because this is for version 1.0. And sign in is not required. contact name. So we'll do Brad Seipert. We want Brad at pyrestudios.com. I don't know if we need a phone number. I'm not going to type that on screen. Shouldn't need any attachments. I'm going to hit save. Phone number, this field is invalid. Email couldn't be saved because another field is invalid. Yeah, I'll go ahead and type in that phone number, but I'm going to not type it in on screen. I get enough spam calls already. So watch me type my phone number in. Yay. Okay. That's been saved. Hopefully I don't scroll back down to that and forget that I put that there. So yeah, take those screenshots, get those uploaded, and then you'll be in a spot where you can get ready to add this for review. There's more stuff you can do here. Philosopher's Stone. That's where you change the app name. So we could change ours to be something like this. Nope, too long. But we can use the subtitle right here. Daily Wisdom Reflections. Select a category. So I think we went with lifestyle last time. If you want, you can give it a second category. I don't really know what else it would be, so we'll just leave it. I'll go ahead and save these. Set up content rights. Show access third-party content and I have the necessary rights. It does not. Set age rating. There's none of this. There's none of this. There's none of this. No, it does not contain unrestricted web access. No instances of gambling. Made for kids. No. Restrict to 17 plus. No, that's fine. License agreement. We've already accepted this. I'm going to go ahead and save. Pricing and availability. Add pricing. United States. Price tier, 99 cents. Next. Yeah, that's fine. It'll sort of automatically adjust some of these for conversion rates for you. Like in Colombia, it is significantly different than 99 cents. Chile, it's different. So you can review those. You can change them if you want. I'm pretty happy with roughly the 99 cent equivalent for anyone else. App availability. You can make this available in all 175 countries if you want. Specific countries, you should probably read this and understand the consequences of availability. And just be aware that, like, depending on what you build, there's a chance that you might have certain legal requirements in certain countries that you need to manage. Keep in mind that once it can no longer be made available for pre-order there, yeah, that's fine. It'll be available in all future countries or regions, yeah, that's fine. Okay, available on app release, pretty good with that. So if we go back here and go to app privacy, guess what? Another privacy policy. Yes, we collect data from this app. Yes, we do. Okay, data collection, health disclosure. I don't collect any of this. I don't collect any of this, any of this. No sensitive info, no user content, no browsing history. Usage information, crash data, that's what we take. To update your app's product page, new data types, you need to finish setting them up on the following page. We use it for analytics. No, it's not linked to a user's identity. Okay, we do not use crash data for tracking purposes. Okay. We actually might be in a good spot where we may not need a privacy policy in the case of Apple's, because it's a little more, I wouldn't say stringent, but I think it's a little more understanding of what we're trying to do. It would not hurt to add one. And in fact, your privacy policy can be shared between Apple and iOS. So if you make one for Android, you probably should add one here too. I'll probably do the same. We have no ratings and reviews because it hasn't been published yet, so you don't need to worry about this tab, but this is what it looks like. You can see your version history here. App review, so if you submit items to app review, so Apple reviews them, they'll appear there. In-app purchases, we don't have any. Subscriptions, we don't have any. You can run App Store promotions here for in-app purchases, which again, we don't have any. You can do custom product pages. So if you want to try different things out, product page optimization, A/B testing for product pages, a lot of neat things. Okay. So I think we have all this in a pretty good spot. So one more thing before we go, and all this is I want to come back here and run Flutter build app bundle. Oh, sorry. You'll run Flutter build app bundle. Unless you used FVM, then you'll run FVM Flutter build app bundle. So we'll let this run. We'll get a new version. And the reason I'm getting a new version is we want to go back to internal testing. Hopefully my CPU doesn't max out. And once this finishes, we'll add a new version to internal testing. One thing we can do to make my CPU a little happier is once this finishes, I will shut down the iOS simulator. Actually, I'll go ahead and shut it down. I've got CPU to use. Okay, this is always good to see, by the way. You can see that like we're using material icons, but it was tree shaken. So instead of this many bytes, we're using this many bytes. Tree shaking is removing everything that's not actually being used from that package. And you can see that it's saving us a lot of space. This should be finished in just a second. I'm also going to go ahead and cancel close VS Code and Messenger. Try to save my CPU as much as I can. Okay. And the reason why I'm trying to save my CPU, we're about to open Xcode and do the same thing for iOS. And Xcode is a beast, in not a good way, in my opinion. So we have this new build. That's the URL, or the directory it's at. If we hit create a new release, we come in here, we hit upload. It should, oh, it did not remember for us. That's a little unfortunate. So we go here, Philosopher's Stone. Why do I have a unlock file in that directory? We go to build, app outputs bundle release, app outputs bundle release, app release. Okay, we let this upload. What changed in this release? So what changed in this release? Added a page view and the ability to scroll through previous quotes. Added functionality to delete all quote reflections. This should upload pretty quickly. It's a fairly small app, right? 21 megs, that's not bad. So we'll let this finish uploading, and then we'll walk through publishing this new version. Okay, it's been uploaded. The important thing here is you should see that this is 2 in 1.01. If you don't see this, you either didn't update your pub spec like we did 15 minutes ago, or you are uploading a previous build. Your build didn't finish. So make sure that works. Hit save and publish. I'm going to close this tab, this tab, this tab, and this tab. And we'll do the same thing for Xcode now. I guess I probably should have done Xcode first, but that's okay. All right, let's let it do its thing. If I go quiet, it's because my CPU is struggling. So, okay, this is set. Make sure this is set to any iOS device, ARM64. And then you want to go to Product, Archive, and we'll let this run. while this is running. Yeah, I don't actually know if there's much more to do while we're waiting for this to run. I guess just we're kind of in a holding pattern waiting. Resource tag, build settings, build rules, add a resource tag. So if you end up adding capabilities, this is how you would handle those. App-a-test is a pretty good capability. It's basically making sure that if you were doing backend connections to like a server, this helps make sure that the connection is legitimate. App groups allow you to share data between multiple related apps. Okay, cool, this finished. You'll see something interesting. This says 1001, where I just mentioned that it should say 1012. iOS or Xcode will manage all this for us. So in our case, we don't have to update those. We can hit upload or distribute app and then go through the steps, and it'll take care of versioning those for us automatically. And this should be pretty quick. But again, capabilities, if you need to add anything like this, capabilities are right here. It took me a long time to find them for other apps because I'm not an iOS developer by trade or an Xcode enthusiast, if there is such a thing. But yeah, they've got all sorts of neat little things. Communication notifications, that's hard to say. Data protection tools, game center support, game controllers, so if you want to add support for game controllers, health kit, that type of fun stuff. Siri support, I probably shouldn't have said her name. Yeah, any stuff like that. So we'll let this upload, and we're in a pretty good spot right now. We're just waiting for App Store to send back an analysis response. But once it does, we should be in a pretty good spot. I'm curious, how long is this one going on? 47 minutes. It's going to be a long video. The good news is this is probably one of the longest videos that we will have for a while. And I guess one more important thing, as it gets close to Christmas, I may compromise my everyday video schedule. We're starting to get busy, so I don't know if I can continue to do that, and I wanted to make sure that we had our app, the latest version of our app, deployed to your device through internal testing or test flight so that you could show it off. It may not be available in the App Store by then. In fact, it won't be. At this rate, it will not be available in the App Store by then. The review processes take too long. But you'll be able to show it off on your device, and if anyone's like, I don't know, I don't believe you, you can show them the code, and you can make a change in front of them and rebuild it on your machine, your laptop or whatever. And when you do that, they can see how things change in real time because of Flutter and how cool it is. And, it's kind of neat, especially if you're not a developer. Like, showing people that out of the blue is wild. If you are a developer and people actually understand what you do, like your family actually understands what you do, it might not be as impressive, but still, it's neat to show people, hey, I built this new app in 2.5 weeks. Okay, so I'm sitting on this screen waiting for a second. The reason I'm doing that, it says monitor the status of your app on App Store Connect. I am just wanting to monitor the status of my app. So it should pop up here soon. I'll probably refresh a couple of times here and make sure that it does show up. So we will wait a moment and do that a couple of times. While we're doing that, we can go to test information and fill this out to submit a build for external testing. Do we need beta app description? Highlights its features and functionalities. Philosopher Stone is an app that allows the user to see a new quote daily and reflect on those quotes. After a while, quotes will be recycled and you can view your previous thoughts on those quotes too. Feedback email, yep. Marketing URL, privacy policy URL, we'll sort that stuff out if we need it. Beta app review information, contact information, yep. Again, I'm not going to send my phone number. I don't have a license agreement. Can I save this without a phone number? Maybe. Show details. Phone number is missing because another field's invalid. Okay, hang tight. Saving my phone number again. Almost said it out loud. That's not what I would want. Okay, saved. Excellent. So yeah, and if you need to manage testers, like for example, if you have a significant other and you want them to have this app or try it out or help you test it, you can add them to the testers section or testing groups. So in our case, like we have the philosopher stone tester group. You can manage that all here. Let's see if our new build's ready yet. Okay, it's shown up and it's processing. Once this finishes processing, we'll fill out a quick questionnaire, add our group, and then this will be available on my iOS device to install right away, which is always nice. I feel like the internal test track for Google, it's not super clear when the new build is available, and the test flight builds are very, very clear. You get push notifications and everything. So we'll give this a moment, and then we should be good to go. I'll close out of ChatGPT and Figma. Yeah. Also, since we're just waiting, and unfortunately you don't have the ability to respond to me, I will give you a quick tour. So if you join me for the Flutter videos, I really appreciate you sticking it out with me this long. There's a lot. I also have a podcast called Compile Time. Truth be told, I haven't recorded in a couple years. I'm looking to change that, and I'm hoping one of my friends and coworkers would be willing to hop on a podcast episode with me to talk about web components and component libraries. So maybe we can get that going. Some older videos. I've tried a lot of different stuff. Some of them you may not like, some of them you may. This one, I particularly like this one. If you're new to open source, like it's kind of Hacktoberfest themed, but this is showing you how to find issues to contribute to with open source projects. Oddly enough, this one did way better than I expected. I was on an F# kick and I really liked it, so I made a video about it. All sorts of random stuff. If you want to learn more about adaptable apps, I have a talk that I gave at a conference about adaptable apps in Flutter. Another talk I gave about monetizing LunaJournal. Just a bunch of random video. I don't want to say random. They're videos with a purpose, but there's a lot of different things in these videos. So yeah, if you're looking for more content, you can always check that out. We'll refresh this, so hopefully you don't have to hear me shell out for my own content anymore. Okay, missing compliance. We've seen this before. We don't use any encryption, so we can go ahead and hit none, hit Philosopher Stone Tester. Okay, it went through. I just got that push notification that says it's available, and then you can find it on TestFlight and install it to your device. It's been a long video, but we'll continue to let it be a long video. Let me pull that up on my device, and then what we will do is I'm gonna take this screen mirror to my MacBook Pro. Okay, you can see my device. We can hit update here. You can also turn on automatic updates if you would like. I'm not, I'm just gonna leave it like this. That way I can pick the version I wanna test. We have our app, it looks pretty good to me. You can scroll through it. That's working as expected. We can hit review previous journal entries for this quote. We see our text whenever we don't have any. Again, we don't have any here. So, you know, if we add one, we can add one that says something, for many men, the acquisition of wealth is not in, more money, more problems. Agreed. Okay, so it's saved. We see more money, more problems. Agreed. Pretty good. Pretty happy with that. So I'll stop mirroring. And this is where we will wrap up our video today. I know this was a long one. This was almost an hour. Unfortunately, the App Store process is my least favorite part of building apps. And in fact, it's part of the reason I'm looking forward to doing more web stuff in 2024. And there will be a video on that soon too, just kind of talking about what we're going to do. So if you're interested in learning more about web, keep an eye out for that video, and I'll share my plans for 2024. Okay, that's it. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you get notified of any new videos that come out, and let me know, what's been your favorite part of this series so far? What was the thing you are most excited to build, or maybe enjoyed building the most? I'd love to hear that. Have a great Tuesday.